Knowledge is probably the most important issue, and certainly advisory services and training and so on have a huge role to play. This role has to come hand in hand with market-based incentives and with hard legislation. Those different tools do not work on themselves. It's like with any other thing. If you want to have less traffic accidents, you have to teach kids in school how to cross the street, and you have to be sure that when people get a driving license they know the rules and know how to respect them. But you also need the rules, and you also need the police to enforce it, and you need fines. Otherwise it doesn't work. Now, clearly, if you don't provide the advice and the training, legislation often fails. But it's also true the other way around. If you don't have the right rules and the right incentives, then you can talk to people forever and they won't change their behavior. So it's really about the mix of those different tools that you need to deploy.
And who do you think should take the responsibility or the ownership for educating the farmers in the way they use crop protection products, for example, or the way they cultivate their land?
Well, I think there is a big role for public authorities. I mean, certainly in the case of pesticide use, one of the big problems we've had over the last few decades has been that in many cases virtually the only information available to farmers has been coming from the producers themselves, which have a vested interest. It's quite clear one, which is not to say that they are not always necessarily giving honest and effective training. In some cases they do, but clearly if it's the guy selling you the product that is telling you whether you need it or not and how much of it you should be using, well, it clearly has some limits.